So the question I have to you is this. When you are putting your kid in a school when they're young, can that like how does that one decision affect long term their wealth?
Everything is relative, right? So for me, I chose schools for environment. I didn't even care who the teachers were, right? I chose schools strictly for environment. So the two things I look for in environment are clean, healthy environment, literally clean, and then class size
So you talking about when you put your kids in schools, you said that the biggest factor for you was environment, right?
only.
All right, so that was the biggest factor. So can you break down like why that was the biggest factor? Because there's a lot of factors that go into a school. Why is environment number one above like who the teachers are, what the curriculum is? What is it about that environment? Why?
Because environment determines at what pace your children are going to learn, right? If the environment is chaotic, your kids are going to learn at a slower pace, right? If it's constant chaos, and I don't even want to discuss it because I don't want to seem like I'm pooping on. I mean, I am pooping on public schools, but if the environment is too chaotic or too crowded, your children are just going to learn at a slower pace, just period.
Hmm.
And when you got children who can't, especially in those fundamental learning years, um, up to second, third grade, you can't afford for your child to be in chaos.
Hmm.
Like my college bound student, my 16-year-old student, the last time he's been in a school setting was fifth grade.
So you made the decision. Your kids were actually going to one of the best schools in our area, right? But you made the decision to
One
pull
of the
them
best
out of that
schools in the
school.
country, and I took
Yeah.
them out.
You took them out to homeschool them. What like how
Culture.
do
So,
explain that
so
to me?
culture of the school was, for students to succeed. There was nothing wrong with the school culture. It was just too many white people in there. I'm just gonna keep it a thou wow, right? And everything was from the perspective of Europeans. And at that point, he had, functional basic learning takes place at a level up to basically you learn the vast majority of the things you need to know by the time you're in like second or third grade.
Hmm.
It just affects all the rest of your learning. And
So
so,
you wanted him. That goes back to that point about environment. You wanted his the environment to be different and the culture to be different in terms of the perspective he's getting as a student.
yeah, because he's 10, 11 years old at this time. And I'm like, they teaching African American history, and it's two black teachers in the whole school. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I can't have him learning can't have him learning African American history in this predominantly white setting. That's just not going to work. I can't have him learning American history from a European perspective. That wasn't going to cut it. And so I took ownership of it.